Hello, everyone. Welcome to the GLORIO Chat, the best anime podcast on the internet. We are halfway through the fall 2025 season, and I don't think we have a lot of actual anime left. At least I'm only watching maybe 3 shows. I don't know if I will still be watching 3 shows by next episode. But
do you mean this season or just in general? We don't have a lot of anime left in us.
Well, that's perhaps a bigger picture question, particularly since we've got our year-end top 10 stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
God. Coming soon, very soon. So
we catch up on so many shows.
We might have to squeeze whatever anime we have left out of us. But yeah, I mean, as a year, 2025 has had a lot of good anime. I just feel like this season is perhaps a little bit down, but there are things to watch. So we will talk about that.
I think there are things here to keep us warm as we approach the holidays here.
Appropriate for the season, upcoming season, that are, keeping us warm. Let's call it that. But before we get into all of that, let's introduce everybody. I'm Gel. I'm joined by Iro.
I'm still here. I'm not dead yet, despite my long overdue... Well, when were you recommending that game, Gel? As I dive into Labyrinth of Galleria, the Moon Society, I feel like you talked about it
possibly
on every podcast
2 years ago. At least one year, possibly 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness. Well,
yeah.
I agree with probably most of the things you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
that game's neat and also too much. And
yeah. Yes, I mean, it's been a while since we talked about it. My general thought was always, I went in for the dungeon crawling sicko stuff and stayed for the surprisingly interesting story.
Yes,
as wild and all over the place as it is.
Yep.
And then ultimately, though, that game is too damn long.
Yes, just the dungeon swallows it up, and you go, all right, maybe I'm good.
At some point, it's because I didn't even finish it. I ended up watching the final true ending cutscenes on YouTube, but it's too damn long.
I hear the final dungeon has 3,000 floors.
There's probably
what the fuck?
There's like in terms of hours, there's probably 3 games worth of content in that game.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much, but it still holds a special place in my heart. I don't know if it's going to replace my. It's not going to replace my Game of the Year spot, which is Dungeon Encounters.
As always.
Spoilers, everybody, that will be my Game of the Year for 2025. But
I might be with
it. So, but I thought about it. I thought about doing a post for that. But yeah, I will look forward. I don't know if you're going to end up writing about it. I will look forward to hearing your...
Probably not a whole full thing. But
okay. We'll see. Yeah.
Somewhere, something will get written about it.
Yeah. Yep. So we are also joined by G.
Hi, watashi wa G desu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
Did you just say G desk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I failed to see what a writing
That's
place
his name.
has to do with anything here.
Well, des is polite. That's the polite suffix you attach at the end of a sentence.
It sounded like you said desk, as in a writing desk.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
well,
it was deska, right?
Yeah, deska, yes.
Yeah. Well, welcome back, G.
It's good to be back. I obviously, look, I don't want to just be that guy that's like, this reminds me of a time when I was in Japan. Mm-hmm. So, I'll cut it short and just say I had an excellent time in Japan. I think that despite the fact that it has become a sort of cliche, overhyped vacation spot, I think, especially post-COVID, to the point where I think even Japan is domestically looking into ways to slow down the flow of tourism into the country.
This, yeah.
Yeah, but that's mostly racism.
Look, they have their own fancy female authoritarian leader now. But in all seriousness, I still think that, yes, if you have any appreciation for Japanese culture or media or what have you, I think it is still a very cool place to visit. and a place I would definitely like to visit again because I would definitely do some things differently if I had another opportunity to visit Japan. Nothing like scandalous or not. I didn't like mess up horribly or anything. I had a great time. We had a great time. But
you
more
learned
like
some things.
you learn things when you travel to another country. You learn, oh, okay, actually, next time it makes more sense to do things a different way than maybe the way you assumed things would work based on your cursory Google searching and watching of YouTube videos.
Yeah. So
But,
next time you plan earlier so you can get tickets to Tenno Show Autumn.
Yes, exactly. So
And-
next time I will be able to attend the Fall Tenno Show. So in all seriousness, Jel, so I looked deeper into it. It's like basically what it comes down to is that good seats are hard to get at horse races, but any seat is very easy to get at a horse race. They literally sell horse racing tickets day of for 200 yen.
The baseball situation.
So yes, it's like, well, if you would like to say you attended a horse race, that is quite easy to do.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Would you like to say you attended a horse race, though? Think about this in the grand abstract of how silly this all is.
I mean, look, man. I mean, I bought the Tamamo Cross Nendoroid. All right, like I'm already like that's
actually more money than the tickets apparently.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I could attend the Fall Tenno Show like 35 times for
With
the
the amount of
same
money
price.
spent.
Okay,
as
but like
the Tamamo Cross Nendoroid.
like a much more accurate way to get into horse racing would be to start smoking 30 cigarettes a day. I would do that before going to an
Oh yeah, I got to get like if I go, I got to get like big sunglasses and a tracksuit. And
I mean, you got to get into like reading the newspaper if you're getting into
Gotta have-
horse racing.
Got to have your fingertips stained yellow with nicotine.
yeah.
But in all seriousness, so once I found out tickets were that cheap and you could buy them day of, I did sort of seriously consider it. But the way I planned my trip out, the day of the Fall Tenno Show, I was in Kyoto at the time, and I was not about to buy a Shinkansen ticket to Tokyo to attend a horse race.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
But if the schedule had aligned, who knows? Who could say what would have happened?
Yeah.
CG, you're so silly using your time in Japan to think about going to a horse race, as opposed to me, who used my enlightened time in Japan to go out and see a Digimon Adventure sign in a small suburb outside the city. Now that's good use of time.
All right, but does that
off
top?
to heightened uterus?
But does that top flipping off the life-size unicorn Gundam?
I also flipped off the life-size unicorn.
All right, but I have photo proof, so
Yeah.
you can see on my
you
Blue Sky
really-
account at
You know I was there. Do you really doubt that I flipped it off?
sure.
Yeah.
Point is, we can't let Fukui's creation get away with thinking it got off scot-free.
I should go back to Japan at some point because I went back in 1999.
See, that sounds great.
Honestly,
Which
that
was
sounds
actually pretty
cool as
rad.
hell.
And,
Yeah.
Like I went when Akihabara still had like electronic stores and
Yeah.
cafes
I
and
remember
stuff.
you. I
The stores where you can walk in and buy resistors.
I remember your story, specifically the story of this time that I recall you telling us was because they had the Poke merch in Japan that had not made its way stateside.
Oh yes.
So you bought a Pikachu backpack for your younger sister, question mark?
Yes.
And
Yes, my younger sister, who was only like 6 years old at the time, I bought a Pikachu backpack in Japan, and my mom said somebody stopped them at like Walmart or something. It was like, I'll give you $200 for that backpack.
What?
Just,
Goddamn.
like, 'cause at that-
1999 was a wild time.
well, because it was like
I mean, you're so
Pokemon
ahead of
was
a curve.
just
Yeah.
Pokemon was
Pokemon
just
was, like,
hitting in the
hot.
States.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
there was
yeah,
not like
that-
merch and stuff yet.
That was like the white hot heart of the mania there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was that was a fun story out of that. But anyway, hey, we're joined by Zig. If you didn't hear
Yes.
his voice already.
I would like to use this opportunity to announce my game of the year as well. It is Jet Set Willy for the ZX Spectrum, as it has been for the past 41 years.
That's fair enough. Look, if I can name the same game of the year for 3 years in a row for a game that came out 2 years before that, then yes,
Dungeon Encounters is really good.
Yeah, Dungeon Encounters is a very good game. So I'll finally update my website and post that. But yeah, all right. Well, anyway, we do have stuff to talk about. despite our low amount of anime. But perhaps an interesting follow up to last week's, or last, I guess, 2 weeks ago, last episode. We had our big tokusatsu blowout with Aqua was on as well, and we talked about the big news about the end of Super Sentai. And Zig, you're telling me there is some other many scare quotes here scandal going on.
Yeah,
there was more like stupider news.
Yeah, it seems like somebody decided they wanted Super Sentai to end even earlier for themselves. So
what
this is the, again, I don't know how many air quotes we can put around this scandal that so the actress Maya Imamori, who plays the Black Ranger in number 1 Sentai Gozyuja, the currently airing tokusatsu show, was caught, gasp, underage drinking. She's 19, and the legal drinking age in Japan is 20.
20, right?
So naturally, there was an entirely proportionate response. Somebody told her agency dobbed her into Toei. So she was sold out by her own agency to Toei, who immediately pulled her from every single Super Sentai thing possible and completely edited her out of the latest episode. And then announced that they're going to shoot a bunch of pickups to permanently exorcise her from the series.
So this is obviously like an insane overreaction that is, not uncommon to like how Japanese media personalities are treated, right? This is the country where, if you were caught with an ounce of weed, you are unpersoned in perpetuity. Meanwhile, if you're like caught groping chicks, people say, well, maybe he can have a redemption tour. But I digress.
Yes.
I think the other aspect, past even, of course, the overzealous reaction here, what I've read is that this is alleged underage drinking.
I mean,
there is not even necessarily like proof of this.
I mean, I cannot read Japanese, and so I cannot read the primary sources, and most of the primary sources are like salacious tabloids anyway.
Right.
This is not a court of law, and definitive proof is not required.
No, I know.
I will
obviously
say that Imamori has been something of a target for the tabloids in general. Partially, it's because she is a gravure model, so there are certain people within, let's say, the Sentai fandom who don't consider that appropriate, and also there has been
nobody told them about Deca Yellow.
I mean, look, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen often. I'm just saying there are some insane people out there. There's also been a persistent rumor that she's been like dating around. There's, all of the absolutely
typical tabloid
inconsequential shit that nobody actually cares about. But she has not been well received by the fandom, or allegedly by the Toei management. And I want to emphasize here, this is bullshit. All of the things that she has supposedly done wrong are just some classic sexist tropes, and but yes, I mean, I think it was Toei kind of just wanted to cut bait on her immediately and screw the facts, screw any sort of...
They were looking for a reason regardless.
Well, I think it's also that companies like Toei especially, right? Like when I look at a Toei, I sort of see something akin to a Nintendo. And by that, what I mean is an extremely risk-averse company, right? Like we were talking about a media company that specializes in a highly specific kind of annualized franchises, right? Yes. Multiple franchises that could be described as this type of annualized, kid-friendly, family-friendly media. And this is, to be clear, this is not to give them an excuse, right? But it does not surprise me that this is not the type of company that would say, hold on, let's wait until we have all the information out there, right? Once the smoke has gotten bad enough, even if it is alleged, even if it has been falsified or exaggerated, these are the types of companies that just simply would find it easier to wash their hands of the entire thing rather than even wait an extra day for information to bear out.
Yeah, I think that's the better take on it. It's not that they were looking to cut her. It's just that they're level of loyalty, level of attachment to her is less than zero. Like they would rather cut bait immediately
Yeah.
than risk the slightest whiff of scandal engulfing the whole thing.
It's just wild they shut down the entire show. Like, it's one thing if you like.
It's kind of insane because, we were just talking the other week about how they are allegedly shutting down Super Sentai because the production costs have gotten too high. Doing this incurs a huge amount of production cost because they will have to do like a huge amount of pickup work. They have had to hire another actress to replace her. Even just re-editing the latest episode, which is extremely funny, by the way. The edits are not subtle. They replaced her in the opening as well with some of like the laziest cut and paste stock footage stuff imaginable. And like, if you know and watch the episode, it is deeply, deeply funny. There is no next episode preview because they don't even know what the next episode will consist of at this point. So they just like play the next episode preview music over a static shot of like the main set and something like that. It's very funny in a very dark sort of way.
I mean, it's always so like, it's, I don't want to call it a double standard, hypocrisy, whatever it is, right? But it's like, it's always like kind of just like you almost cannot help but like scoff at the entire notion, right? Considering like what is often like the subject matter of these shows. I mean, clearly I know Sentai's for children,
yes,
right? But it's like, I don't know. I'm going to assume at bare minimum your average Sentai villain is doing worse than underage drinking. Like,
Depends on the episode.
I mean, like, the villain did try and defraud somebody by running a fake curry restaurant using time travel last season.
I would probably consider that worse than underage drinking. Like, look, maybe this is my American perspective, but underage drinking is fucking small time as far as like crimes go.
If the drinking age is 20 and you're like 19 and a half, like, come on. That's like, and look, we all agree that's just, we're wasting everybody's time here, right?
Yeah, this is obviously a big cultural difference, but I mean, I don't feel bad in saying that the cultural stuff around this in Japan is fucking stupid. And, just the whole idea of somebody just being thrown overboard because, it's just a reminder of that, like, Japanese show business is incredibly weird and bizarre and extremely unfair. And I'm going to say, I suspect this would not have happened if the actor in question had been a man.
Oh, of course, right? I mean, look, again, like, I sort of like, ruefully joked about it at the start of this segment, right? But like, how many times has a male actor or creator been involved in like something like deeply scandalous and maybe legitimately morally upsetting? And like, motherfucker, Amuro's VA is there at the end of the last episode of G-Cooks. Like,
they did use stock audio for that, I will say, but
I know,
but they didn't erase him from existence.
They didn't erase, like for better or worse. Like, look, if I were to pick up Super Robot Wars right now, I guarantee you Amuro's played by Toru Furia, right? Like, even if it's stock footage, even if they didn't bring him back to the recording booth, they did not unperson that role. You know what I'm saying?
They did not scrub Amuro from...
They did not scrub Amuro from existence, right? Like, he did not get unpersoned.
Yeah, and I mean, like, this is a classic example of the power dynamic inherent in I was going to say Japanese show business, but show business, right? Like, Toei have all the cards here. They have absolutely no reason. Imamori has no leverage at all, quite aside from all the cultural stuff that's surrounding her. Like, again, for Toei, it is just much easier to cut and run than to stick up for her in any regard.
And to be clear, I do think like it is not necessarily like a cut and dry gender thing. I am, in fact, reminded of the specific example in, I believe, Judgment. Was it the RGG spinoff?
They removed Kiyotaki,
right, because he was caught with like an ounce of weed. And I will point out that the character he played is a human trafficking murderer. Just saying.
Okay, right. I mean, like, that's funny, but also we need to separate people from their roles.
No, but to be clear, the point I'm making is like, the real crime this man was unpersoned for is like comically insignificant.
compared to what was being done in the game. Right?
The subject matter of the game itself, right? An M-rated game, you know?
Like, what are you protecting the people from by taking them out, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you know, it's just a very depressing story overall, quite frankly, you know. I mean, like,
but what a way to end the 50-year run, right? Like, this is
it's certainly not a great look, you know. I have no idea how they're going to write around it, you know. Like, they have confirmed they have hired a replacement actress, you know. It sounds like she is just going to step into playing the same role. They might not even...
was the Pink Ranger in Dawn Brothers.
No, she wasn't.
Oh, you sure?
The Pink Ranger in Dawn Brothers was a man for a start, if you recall.
That's right. Hang on. Yeah.
She was one of the bad guys in Dawn Brothers.
Well,
now I'm confusing myself.
Yeah, but anyway, they have hired a replacement actress. You know, presumably they are doing pickup shooting just now. You know, I mean, I don't know. Like, this sounds bad, but I don't know what Imamori's future prospects are. You know, like being blackballed by one of the biggest companies in the entertainment industry, I suspect makes you radioactive to anybody else.
I think that is really like the most unfortunate thing about all of this, right? Is like, this is not like a case of like, oh well, I guess you'll have to pivot to something, you know, to another media. Hope she's a good singer.
Right.
Like,
she was the yellow Dawn Brothers, which was a woman. Yes,
you know, I think the thing is that like the way like the media industries in Japan work specifically, right? It's like, you know, there's no indie scene for you to turn to, really, right? There is no alternative circuit, right? You can't, you can't play, you know, at the small shows even, right? It does seem like in the media industry in Japan, like once you are out or marked like this, I mean, surely there must be examples of people who have like gotten blackballed like this who have come back, but like I can't imagine it is common.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. There was a fairly recent anime I remember watching where this happened, where somebody got caught in an underage drinking scandal, and that was their tragic backstory.
I mean, it's also really funny having just come back from Japan. Like, brother, they just have beers in the vending machines. You don't gotta like scan your ID.
You can just buy a beer.
You got 300 yen in your pocket. Like, you're on your way.
I think it was Skip and Loafer, and that show was good. Go watch that. Go watch that. That's a good anime. Yeah, but yeah, I think the main guy was him and this other girl that was in his part of his backstory or something got in an underage drinking scandal, and he never wanted to act.
That's right, because he was like a child actor. Yeah,
he was like a child actor or something. Yeah. Anyway,
but yes, you know, I mean, like we will report back once they air an episode with the new actress in place, but you know, it's also worth pointing out that like there's only maybe like 12 or 13 episodes of the show left. Actually, it might be a few more, it might be 15 or 16, but like they are cutting her after we have done like a good 2/3 of the show, and yeah, it just seems such an overreaction. You know, it's just such a weird, unfair thing to be doing, quite frankly, and it's a shame. You know, I think that the reaction from the Western fandom has been generally sympathetic, as you would expect. You know, like I said, there is a cultural division here between the Japanese fans and everyone else, but yeah, just seems unfair and seems a real weird note to go out on for Super Sentai.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how bad it is once they come back, but I guess at least if they're shooting new episodes, it'll be less weird to have a replacement, but who knows? They probably had a few already at least partially done, right? So.
I mean, like, I think they're not shooting full new episodes. They're shooting pickup stuff. I mean, in the episode that just aired, they were fine showing her in the suit, so obviously not her, but a stunt person. But they very carefully cut around anything that showed her out of suit, and occasionally they even digitally erased her from the scene. So
Yeah.
Like I said, not a small investment.
Yeah. All right, let's move along then. Iro,
Yeah,
you
I saw the
saw an old classic.
classic in scare
Classic?
quotes, perhaps.
Question marks?
Yeah, I saw the early like new remaster screening of Mamoru Oshii's Angel's Egg, which is certainly a movie.
I would perhaps describe Angel's Egg as Mamoru Oshii's best movie.
Perhaps I've not seen all of them, so I couldn't say. But it's got art by Yoshitaka Amano, also probably the closest that we have gotten to animated Amano art properly, which is very, very difficult, of course.
Yeah.
It's one of his earlier works, right? I think he'd only made like maybe the Ursa Yatra movies before it. Probably some other smaller stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, like it's. I'm sure he had been like in the trenches for a while, but as far as like the big signature works that make up his career, this is generally regarded as like only the second big thing he did after Beautiful Dreamer. So
yeah, I like Angel's Egg. I think Oshii's style involves a lot of panning over stuff while people are having monologues about, I don't know, politics or philosophy or whatever. And this has not so many monologues, instead just panning over weird imagery, right? Just this strange, creepy world that's just mysterious and enigmatic.
it is not really a narrative film. Like,
No.
I'm not going to say it has no story, but the story is not really what you're there for.
Vibes.
It's vibes. It has a lot of vibes. And it's funny, especially now watching this again, because if you take, for example, Oshii's episodes of like Lupin the Third, Part 6, where it's like you were just using the same plot device. So you made it again, but Fujimomide is here instead.
The Mamoru Hosoda method.
Yes. So that is like really goofy to say in hindsight, I think, of that.
I mean, the thing is, Angel's Egg itself is arguably kind of a remake of Beautiful Dreamer.
I disagree.
That, like, remake is maybe unfair, but like it is. There is a similar base idea at work, you know, the sort of like vision, dreamlike state flow of image stuff, right?
I guess if you put it like that, I see more where you're coming from. I think there's more plot and so much more plot and character in Beautiful Dreamer.
That's true, yes, but I think that there is kind of like a creative connection between them, which is interesting. Yeah, maybe I was overstating it there, but I hope you know what I mean when I say that. Like, you can see Angel's Egg as kind of an outgrowth of some of the ideas that were explored in Beautiful Dreamer,
and an egg for ideas we'll explore later. Boom. I think seeing it in theaters was pretty cool because that movie, since it's vibes and there's not a lot of dialogue, there's just a lot of sound and music, and having the big theater speakers, right, being able to slam you with sounds when necessary, like, adds punch.
Yeah, that does seem like going to the theater would actually be adding to the experience in that particular case, right?
It's like a newly restored print as well, right? They cleaned it up and everything.
It's like a 4K remaster. I hear they also remastered his live action thing that came out soon after Angel's Egg, but I've not seen that. And
the red spectacles?
Yeah.
Right.
Probably.
Which is like a prequel to Jinro, I think.
Probably not getting a theatrical run on that one.
Maybe. That's a maybe.
Okay, in my mind, Angel's Egg is one of those movies that is like forever trapped on like a third generation VHS copy or something. You know, it is very wavy, very pillowy, very soft. I think I first saw it on VHS, actually.
Yeah, I think I probably... I don't know if I don't think I ever saw the whole thing. I remember seeing bits of it, probably on a VHS tape somewhere in the 90s.
What I've definitely never seen is that like that live action movie that like cut Angel's Egg into it and like adapted part of it.
That rings a weird bell, but I cannot remember anything about it other than the basic premise.
It's just some weird I don't know, indie question mark. Just some small movie that does that, and back when you could do shit like that, I guess. Yeah. You know, right. if because I saw the early showing, and so as of recording, by the time this podcast is out, I think the like real theater showings will be happening. So yeah, maybe check it out. Maybe check that out.
Check your local listings for
for Mamoroshi's Angel's Egg.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I like the idea of like kind of rerunning old stuff like that.
Yeah.
Give people a chance to see it.
And there's a lot of stuff I think that you can point to as like sort of aesthetically descended from Angel's Egg, right?
Go see that after you see the Chainsaw Man.
There was somebody there. I was waiting in line to get my ticket ripped or whatever, and the person in front of me had a ticket for Chainsaw Man, and they were like, "This is the third time I've seen this movie. I love Reze so much."
Well,
I'm like, okay, I guess I'm here to see the whole
story,
shit.
bro.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about another new thing that came up.
Well, speaking of the works of
Chainsaw
Fujimoto.
Man and the works of Tatsuki Fujimoto, the Fujimoto 1726 anthology, should we call it?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
A fair term.
Yes.
Which we did talk about in our preview show, but had not been released until recently. That finally came out. I did not get a chance to catch any of this myself, but you guys watched, I think, at least one of them, right?
Yes. We've watched the first of the shorts, Clucking Chickens in the Schoolyard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think the thing I would say is, like, I think it's very cool, like, conceptually, that a creator gets to have his body of work explored and interpreted so thoroughly like this across, like, the arc of his development as an artist and creator.
A rare privilege. Right?
A very, very rare privilege, yes. Right? I think, for better or worse, right? We get to run the gamut, right? From the Mappa Chainsaw Man to the, Look Back film. And now we get to see another aspect of his career, a very early aspect of his career, right? The name 17 to 26 denotes the age at which he published these one-shots. So, I think getting to, like, get animated insight into, like, the full arc of a creator is just, it's very cool. And the thing I would say so far, at least based on the first short we've watched, is, I wish we had watched more, because then we could probably compare and contrast.
Yeah.
Because another notable thing is that every short is being done by a different studio and director. So, and I think this is a fitting choice, because I think the thing that's going to be really interesting about this is, I think watching these shorts is going to maybe help give some insight into, like, both how Fujimoto has grown as a writer, but also the things about him that were always there from the start, right? A particular kind of black humor, a particular interest in exploring social commentary, an obsession with little sisters. Like, there are things about Fujimoto, like,
that's not unique to Fujimoto.
Fujimoto is particularly obsessed with the concept of the younger sister. I mean, I don't know if you're aware of this, Zig, but Fujimoto literally has an alt account that role plays as Tatsuki Fujimoto's younger sister, who roots for Tatsuki Fujimoto in all of his endeavors. To be clear, Tatsuki Fujimoto is a single child.
Wow. I have lost so much respect for Fujimoto in the last 30 seconds.
I mean, or you could go the Paro Itagaki route of, actually, that's insanely based. Wow, what a psychopath. But yes.
No. I think there's a big difference between that
Um,
and Isekaki.
Yes, what the to make a certain type of art, you have to just be
I think you
kind
need
of
to
pervert,
be a certain type of crazy person, and that is more what I'm getting at. And I think the thing that is like fun about at least the first short we've seen is like I do not believe it is chronologically his first one shot, but it is very early in his career. And yeah, man, it's a lot of that shit. It's the Fire Punch Chainsaw Man, Look Back, Goodbye, Airy, like shit, just there in its like nascent form. Like, you know, it is about, you know, the first short it takes place. The story is about a world in which aliens invaded Earth and discovered that humans are delicious, but also human culture is awesome. So they ate humans to extinction and merely appropriated their culture.
Yep.
And you know
true
about
colonists.
yeah, basically
Yeah.
they're like, wow, you're delicious. Also, wow, we love Japanese school uniforms. And you know about an alien discovering two surviving humans who have dressed up as chickens because aliens have horrible no ability to recognize human faces whatsoever. So if a human wears a Metal Gear Solid 5-esque chicken hat, they're able to walk amongst aliens completely undetected.
Yeah, because eating chickens is just some barbaric shit that humans used to
chickens
do.
are gross.
Like,
In fact, it was justified to exterminate the human race. I mean, and this is the part where you get the delightful, this is the beginning of Fujimoto's attempts at social commentary. He's like, well, you know, the humans ate chickens and pork and beef, and those were also intelligent animals. So who can say if the extermination of the human race isn't justified?
Hold on. Sorry, can we stop a moment, please? My Garth Marenghi alarm is going off.
Look, he's a teenager at this point,
Yes,
so
yes.
he's taking big swings.
makes you think.
It's pretty good. Well, you said this isn't necessarily in chronological order, so I don't know if this is one that he did when he was actually 17, or do we know? But
no, maybe this is like one where he's like, this could be in his 20s, right? It's hard to know exactly.
he's still quite young, though. Yeah,
quite young in his career. This is pre-Fire Punch, pre-Chainsaw Man. And yeah, I think the first short was quite good. It was very well animated. There's a little bit of the goofy. There's a little bit of that like Mob Psycho / One Punch Man like
Right.
amusement of watching. Like, as someone who has read these original shorts, Fujimoto has always been a limited artist in some regards. And boy, he was not great at drawing when he was younger. We'll say that. And it's very funny to watch this short fucking, like, take off the training weights and do some, like, fucking crazy-ass shonen sakuga shit.
Yeah.
And you go back and read the same panels it's adapting, and it's like, I don't know, man, like a stick figure somersaulting through the air, you know? It's like, here, it's like, yeah, it really is some, like, yeah, Mappa adjacent, like, suddenly everything is animated on ones, and this dude's muscles are rippling in, like, 60 frames per second as this punch gets thrown with the force of a nuke, and it's, anime can be fun sometimes.
I don't remember if I said this before when we were doing the preview, but this does remind me of like back when there used to be bands that put out albums, and if they got really popular, because it would be like 3 or 4 years before they put out another album, so you'd have to fill that space. So they would like dig up old like B-sides and demos and stuff and put out an album with just that stuff. Like that's kind of what this makes me think of.
I think that's definitely intentional, right? I mean,
and I think it's probably a testament to how popular he is. And I know I did mention this when in the preview. He kind of also just hits that kind of sweet spot between the like extremely popular Shonen Jump author and still having like artistic street cred.
Yes, I think that's a big aspect of like why
he's the one getting something like this. Right?
He gets to enjoy,
but still populist.
Perhaps, yes.
Yeah. But it's an interesting project. Yeah, I guess like because it's different works that he did at different points in his life, and then also different studios doing stuff. The one episode is probably not going to tell you anything about how the next one's going to be, right?
Not really, no.
I do love a good anthology. I will have to check this out because I think it's always fun when there are anthology projects that just where the individual components have almost no connection to each other. I think that's
Yeah.
interesting, and you get a lot of fun differences.
For sure. I think I would definitely recommend this anthology, even despite having only watched this one episode. Just as somebody who is familiar with these shorts, I can say with my chest that, like, I don't think they're all necessarily going to be, going in guns blazing, but there are at least, I'd say, 3 or 4 shorts here that I think are, like, really excellent, like, stories. Like, I think, like, when you, like, listen to me and Aqua, like, again, for you guys who only know Fujimoto through Chainsaw Man, it is probably sometimes confusing why, like, Aqua and I go to the paint so hard for Fujimoto, but, like, the man has written some, like, really impressive stories, and you can even see some of that even early in his career, is what I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I got one over with Look Back, right? So I have that, but and I still think perhaps my opinion of Chainsaw Man is just torpedoed from only watching the anime, but I don't know. I could see the, like, appeal in Chainsaw Man at least, but yeah. So I do also want to check it out at some point, and maybe I will have more time for that soon based on some other conversations we'll have.
Finally dropping Cinderella Grey, are we?
Anyway. Okay. So let's move along onto our regularly scheduled shows. You guys have anything you want to talk about with Digimon?
It's going fine.
Yeah.
You know what?
You know what's cool happened in the most recent episode?
A panda and a lizard swore a blood oath to each other, and then they promised to die together. They very almost did, but romantic. In the end, nobody died.
Panda shot somebody with a Tommy gun.
Yeah.
Like, structurally, very standard kids show stuff, though, compared to other Digimon shows, especially, we've gone quite a while without, like, a power-up. Gekkoumon is still base level Gekkoumon, right?
He's still a small dude.
And, like, I distinctly remember, I mean, of course, we watched Adventure semi-recently, Zig, but, like, when I was a kid...
you say that, but that was almost 10 years ago now.
I said semi-recently, but, like, that was a show where, like, there was a new power-up almost every single episode.
Yes.
Right? And so it's... And, of course, Sentai and Rider have new power-ups all the time. Yes. So it's like, oh, we've gone, like, 7 or 8 episodes without, like, a power-up. Instead, it's just been, like, characterization and Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's good. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, like, I think the encouraging thing to me is that they are still continuing to do character work, and, like, it's not the deepest or most radical character work ever, but it is focused on character and on world building and stuff like that, and that's a pleasant surprise to be. Have you seen the latest episode, Iro?
The one that came out, like, yesterday or this morning? Yes. I've not. Yeah. But also, go ahead. It's Digimon.
It's an episode that's, like, focused on Kyo, the adult member of the group there. And again, it's nothing particularly crazy in terms of storytelling style, but it's nice, and it goes into kind of like a conflict that's perhaps a little bit less black and white than your standard kids show, let's beat up the bad guy and save the day stuff, So again, baby steps, but I'm enjoying what they're doing so far, and they still seem to be on course for some fun stuff.
How was my Kyo will betray the party one day prediction looking?
Not great, is what I'll say.
All right.
At the moment, we're tending towards Kyo is too good, too pure for this world, unfortunately.
No, but those are the exact people who fall, right?
Yeah, like, well, I mean, look, I ain't ruling it out entirely, but I'm just saying at the moment your odds are slipping.
Damn. I'm losing my edge.
Yeah. But yeah, nothing radical to report, but it continues to be good. It continues to be entertaining. There are still some good sight gags. There's still some fun action sequences. It's got everything you'd want from a funny kids show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the longest we've gone before an evolution was in Tamers. right?
I think that was still only like 3 or 4
No,
episodes.
it was like episode like 8 when
Was it?
Guilmon evolves. Yeah,
I guess.
I mean some of the other ones do, right? But not Guilmon.
Okay, yeah, but it's been a while. I can't remember precisely there, but yeah, definitely. The thing I will say is that they said beforehand, like, oh, this is a Digimon show aimed at like older children, at teens and stuff like that. And so far, they have been true to that. It is slower, more thoughtful, more character focused, a bit less hyperactive, a lot less merchandisey.
Okay. Well, I guess speaking of shows trucking along and not changing, let's move on to talk about Spy Family Season 3.
I can't believe Anya got kidnapped by Antifa.
Okay, so...
Oh, are we on the bus arc? I'm not caught up.
Yeah,
but
yeah, we're on the bus arc.
I did...
Bus Namek.
Yeah.
I did catch up finally on Spy Family. And I don't know.
Shout outs to Melinda Donovan. Shout outs to moms who are deeply sick.
Yes, I did enjoy that episode. But that was last time. The 2 most recent episodes were the start of, I guess, the bus arc. I don't know, guys. I might be done. Yeah. I might be out. I was watching these episodes, and I actually checked to make sure I selected season 3 because I swear that we've seen this episode before. I was like, I know it's been a long time since we've seen season 1 or whatever. I'm like, did I pick season 3? I swear this episode has happened.
So I was kind of with you, Gel, up until the bus arc started, and I found the bus arc more interesting because stuff is actually happening. I will say that although I don't think the material here has been great, some of those jokes with the bomb strapped around Anya's neck are terrific. Like where she's accidentally bashing the bomb against things and stuff like that. I thought were really good.
Zig, did you see the movie?
Yes.
Okay, because the details are different, but it also isn't this the same plot as the movie.
I remember almost nothing about
right.
The movie.
This is like one of those weird things where technically this arc in the manga came first, and so the movie is the one that is appropriating.
It's like how
reusing a joke.
It's like how every Dragon Ball Z movie is just like an arc from the original, like compressed. Right.
The only thing I remember about the movie is the insane poop hallucination dream.
Yes.
Worst part of the movie.
You don't remember you're fighting, a Cold War era cyborg?
That did happen, didn't it?
You're fighting a cyborg.
But I haven't got to the latest episode yet. But if I do recall, I do think I get where you're coming from, Jill. I will say I think maybe I do lean towards Zig here, where I do think some of the Anya gags on the bus are like some of the best that Spy Family has had in a bit.
There's just some real dark humor going on. Like,
it's not that, and it's not that it's bad or got worse. It's just like, okay.
You've seen it before, right?
Yeah, this is like, I don't finish a lot of video games because I get to a point in a lot of video games where I feel like I have done everything that I'm gonna do in this game, and I don't, unless there's like a good story.
Now you have to spin your wheels for 20 hours, right?
Unless there's like a good story that I want to see the end of or something there. Like if I'm just going to be repeating the same thing over and over again for another 10 or 20 hours, I'll just stop playing because it's like it could be a game that I really liked. Like it's just I've done everything that I'm going to do here, and I feel like Spy Family is not going to give me anything I haven't seen in the past 40 something episodes at this point. And it's not that it got worse or it got bad or anything. It's still good. It's just like I said, I literally was like, am I watching did I accidentally pick season 1 or something? Like, is this still I swear I've seen this episode before. Yeah. And
I'm not unsympathetic to that view. I think I was really struggling with like I was saying, the flashback episodes. I thought those were really draggy, but
I have felt that way for most of season 3 just for these particular episodes. For whatever reason, it's because we're also now 6 or 7 episodes in. It's just built up, and I'm just like, all right. But again, I would not fault anybody if you're still enjoying it, because it's still Spy Family. It hasn't gone anywhere in different directions or anything. It's still the good quality Spy Family, and those jokes were good with the bombs and stuff. I agree, but it was just like, I don't know. I want this all to just wrap up now. I feel like we've seen everything we were going to see out of it, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know but from what you guys have told me, I don't think anything's drastic.
Just wait till we get to Mr. Henderson's dramatic flashback arc.
Oh boy,
God, it's so obvious Endo wants to write war fiction so badly, and is stuck writing this dumbass rom-com. But every time he gets off pasture, every time the horses break out of the barn, and he starts writing some fucking grim as hell, fucking mid-century war fiction.
Yeah, I mean,
so
that was
funny.
one of my issues with the flashback arc, is that it's just so tonally out of step with the rest of the show. Like, it's like, oh, war is hell, and like the people, my childhood friends are dead, and I only saw them once again, and like I'm completely, and I'm like, is this the same show that has like a psychic dog and like a bunch of poop jokes and stuff like that, and it's not that I don't think that you can tell interesting and good war stories in that. It's just I'm not certain Spy Family is the medium through which to do that, and to me at least the bus arc represents a return to the things I enjoy about Spy Family, which is extremely serious situations being dealt with in very stupid ways.
Yeah. I think the other thing is, like, we're still I don't know how long this arc is going to go on, but we're like, I guess not 2 full episodes. We're like an episode and a half to it. I feel like, okay, where else are we going with this? But I don't know how.
I was kind of surprised that they didn't wrap up this episode, but I think they can probably get another half episode to episode out of it.
Kidnapped by Antifa, I guess.
Yes, I mean, I think
Red Circus.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're supposed to be the communists or something, but
I mean, I think it's very funny that like they are meant to be in an analog for East Berlin. And,
I was about to say,
the bad guys are still extreme left terrorists.
Yeah,
like, come on, guys.
It's a little goofy, but
you got a little off on your analogy here.
Yeah.
But so, we'll see how I feel next week. I'm also only watching. That's only one of 3 shows I'm watching, so maybe I'm not going to drop it outright. But my stocks are down for me on Spy Family.
Yeah, I guess like I'm giving it points alone for like the really dramatic bit where Damien has like an internal crisis of conscience and then just walks up to the guy and says, "I'm going to shit my pants."
God,
yes.
That's some good turning the mood on a dime stuff there.
Yeah. For sure.
God, have they done the bit yet where like they have to write the note, but because they're children, it's just complete fucking gibberish?
They did that.
Well, like Becky, the joke there was that Becky can write perfectly well, but Anya isn't writing in code; she just has incomprehensible handwriting.
Right? Sure. Yes.
Right. Yeah, they did do that. No, yeah, they left off. It ends with the bus stopping and the police are there.
Sure, yes, okay.
That's where we left.
And like the terrorists have like blacked out the bus and are trying to do negotiations and stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move along. We put a show back on the list we haven't talked about in a while, and I don't know if you guys will have anything new to say about it, but you're still watching Gachiakuta. It's still
fulfilling
another show still trucking along. I guess
fulfilling the extruded shonen product quotient. Right.
Look, it's just every season you need at least one show where characters are walking around handing out ass beatings, but sometimes talking for 15 minutes straight uninterrupted. But they promise that there will be a cool ass beating next week.
We swear.
So stay tuned.
Isn't that Sanda? Sanda for that?
Whoa.
But no, I think Gachiakuta is like, I mean, we are deep in the well of the like classic I don't know what, I forget last time we talked about it, but
yeah, everybody splits off for their one-on-ones.
Yes, yes, exactly. There's 5 bad guys and 5 good guys, so let's all do our one-on-ones that are going to somehow be thematically resident to the particular character arcs of each person involved. I think probably the thing that's mostly stand out about this slate of episodes is just like, I think the thing that is always that is like kept Gachiakuta, if it has never been like my favorite, but it has always been something I've kept in the rotation just because I do think I think Gachakuta's fights often have quite entertaining resolutions. Like
yes.
I think that Kei Urana has a particular sense of humor, perhaps, about like how to write a good, compelling shonen fight. And I'm going to use the contrast examples here. The first fight we have is Zanka versus Jabberwonger. And the long and short of this is basically just the like, crazy Joker poison using villain versus the hard work kid, right? The kid who wasn't born with talent but got to where he is through hard work and guts, right? And so we're doing that classic setup, right? And I think the thing, like the long and short of it, that I think makes it like so, like kind of weirdly delightful, is ultimately how mean-spirited this fight ends up being, because half of an episode is dedicated to Zanka's backstory about like how, like,
what, he was like born privileged and everyone thought he would do great things or whatever, but he wasn't that talented, and he had a whole complex about it and had to work his ass off to get anywhere. And
right, yes. Like, he is working like his ass off to live up to the expectations of someone his station is meant to have. And broadly, in the end, failing to meet those expectations in deeply humiliating ways. And how this fight is supposed to represent the culmination of what hard work can do against talents. And it turns out that the entire last 5 minutes of the fight, in which he triumphantly struggles against the overwhelming odds, gets his second wind, and takes the fight back against the villain, is a neurotoxin-induced hallucination. He lost the fight 15 minutes ago. He's been twitching on the ground, hallucinating from the poison he's been infected with.
So fucking mean.
And Jabberwonger is just dancing over his twitching body, reminding him, wow, you really are. Repeatedly say to the camera, wow, I thought you'd be stronger. I thought surely your power couldn't just be a stick, right? Guys like you are supposed to have a backup, right? A hidden ace in the hole. That's the whole thing about guy. A guy
like have a bankai,
right? Surely you had a bankai. Surely you're not so utterly pathetic of a character that your only power would be to swing a stick really hard. I mean, that would be aren't you one of the main 5? That would be extremely embarrassing. Surely you have something else, right? How could you even call yourself a member of the main cast with a power this ultimately unimpressive? Wow. That's crazy. Wow. So some could say the real twist of this fight was how weak you ultimately were. And it's
really rubbing it in on him.
It's so mean-spirited. Even as someone who likes to root for the hard work kids, it's so cruel in the way in which it just rubs the salt in the wound of this type of character archetype.
Oh man!
And then the next fight,
pretty funny though,
is a designated girl fight between Rio, who is the scissor-wielding girl of the party, versus basically Milia Rage from Guilty Gear.
Okay.
Hair fighter.
Right.
So get it? Scissors versus prehensile hair.
Yeah, got it.
And this one is quite good because, it's a generally pretty well animated fight. There's a good part where they both put away their weapons because they're just man, I hate you so much. I want to beat you with my bare hands. And so they both undo their powers and just start fucking beating the shit out of each other for a solid 2 minutes. They're just fucking throwing haymakers at each other. It's fucking awesome. But in the end, Rio is ultimately not as good at CQC as Milia Rage here. And so we just had that talk about, like, surely you guys all have, like, secret ace in the holes, right? Like a bankai or something.
You just don't
And-
have scissors.
Rio is like, well, I guess my kung fu and my scissors aren't going to get it done. I might have to reveal my secret weapon. And says, hey, this is
Nobody else
truly
is here, right?
a one-on-one, right? Nobody else is here, right? There are no witnesses. Nobody could hear what's about to happen next, right? And, the lady's like, yep, you'll die screaming alone. And she's like, that's awesome. Great. Honestly, thank you so much. And then pulls out a desert eagle.
It's a red and 9mm, right?
Yeah. And just
Pulls out a fucking gun.
shoots Milia Rage.
The ultimate shonen superpower.
fucking
Hot
funny.
leg.
Yeah.
The
just
ultimate power.
It's just a gun. Yeah, it's not a magic gun. It's just a
Not
gun.
to be clear, this is not her second secret, like, powered weapon. This is a completely normal handgun that shoots
all right.
completely normal bullets.
All right.
Looks like Pole Horse had the last laugh after all.
And what's that, like, eternal tweet with, like, that has, like, Emiya from Fate Zero pointing the gun? That's like,
Right.
the more convoluted your, like, story's power system gets, the funnier it is when somebody just pulls out a gun.
Yeah.
All right,
Kei
Gachiakuta,
Urano was paying attention, apparently.
All right, Gachiakuta, you win this round.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's
you win this round.
fucking awesome. So good.
I guess I can't beat your power.
Oh, well.
Shoot you in the leg.
Yeah,
Walk off.
yeah, it's so good. Yeah.
It's great.
It's so good because it is totally the, like, oh, this is a secret power, quote unquote, you only get to do exactly once per opponent. So,
Yeah. What you said? Ever since the manga, she has not pulled out the gun again.
Rio has not pulled out the gun a single time since this fight.
Yeah,
But it's always waiting.
But it is always
Yeah.
waiting. That's the thing.
Chekhov's gun is on the mantle.
you know she's got it on her.
You know
right?
she has it, but, like, very prominently, every fight she's had in the manga since has been in front of other people. And so
Right.
she's like, shit, I can't, do the thing.
I can't just shoot somebody. Yes.
Because
Uh.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to talk about, what is the dark secret this character hides from even their own allies? It's that she's strapped.
Yep.
Got that thing
hell.
on her. Yeah, that's the secret. Great. Love it.
It's good.
So, Gachiakuta can be all right sometimes.
Yes.
Except,
Yeah.
the latest episode, which literally was the villain monologuing for 15 minutes. It kind of sucked. It's the part that reminded you, oh, right, we're still watching Shonen at the end of the day.
One of the insane things to me about the long monologue is, like, okay, I think it's normal in these adaptations to, like, be able to pick out where the chapter breaks were, because there's usually some sort of, like, small cliffhanger or, like, punctuative reveal or whatnot, right?
Right.
And that's totally normal. What was driving me insane was they were still keeping in the, like, 1 to 2 pages at the beginning of any given chapter where they restate what happened last week. It's like, buddy, I know you said that a minute ago. You said the same thing. I know the commercial break isn't right here. So why are you still saying this shit? And yeah, all shonen just it has to deal with that, huh? Like,
I think so. Yes.
Yes,
I think we have litigated this so many times on this
times.
podcast already. But just
Yeah.
Shonen just will always follow
It's
certain
cut, yeah.
conventions.
I mean, I've not seen the Demon Slayer movies, but I've read some criticism on the Demon Slayer movies, basically along these lines of, like, it's always start stop, which makes sense in a weekly format. And in a movie is just, like, bizarre and pacing destroying, right?
Yes. I mean, the only context I have for the Demon Slayer movie is that one video of a dude getting the fucking shit beat out of him. Have you seen this?
I've not.
Okay, apparently story goes that in one of the American showings of the Demon Slayer movie, I guess...
Oh, you mean an actual person getting the shit beat out of them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was like, which character gets beaten?
I guess some theater goer, like, got insanely fucking wasted and then started pissing on a kid and that kid's dad and their buddies just fucking stomp the shit out of this dude. Like, it's a fucking axe beating.
Exactly.
Yeah,
good.
But the funniest thing about it is that you could see the movie in the background, and it's like Tanjiro or something doing his fucking like finisher move on the villain at the climax of the movie. You can see the UFO table light sparks like lighting up on the
They're
sword.
like finishing him off.
Yeah,
it's
really funny.
All right, we'll have to look that up after this. But
shit.
yes, that sounds pretty good. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys are having some fun with it still. Like, it's not all just
look. Next week, finally, the like cool old cowboy man voiced by Akio Otsuka is going to do something.
We'll finally do something other than sit
I've been
here
waiting
and taunt
a
us.
month.
What will the cowboy man's power be?
I don't know. You told me it was cool.
It can't be gun anymore.
If her secret power was gun, what is the cowboy gonna
Right,
have?
you can't just pull out a gun anymore. Yeah,
No, that's
Two
Rio's
guns?
thing now.
2 guns, bitch.
Yeah,
He's
what
got
else
2
are
guns.
Yes, what else are cowboys known for? What could be a cowboy themed power in Gachiakuta?
Cool. Except we can't be the lasso because the dude he's fighting has the cloth lasso.
Yes, exactly. What else could be left for a cowboy?
Horse. He's gonna unveil his cloak and reveal he's a centaur. Like, I don't fucking know.
All right. Let's move on and talk about Gnosia. We're saying the hard G still.
That's how they say it.
Okay, I ask every time, but
I don't get it either.
So, how are things going with surprise GLORIO favorite Gnosia?
Your friend and mine has appeared. Gel. Everybody's favorite voice actor.
So it sucks now. So it's ruined, is what you're telling me.
I didn't realize that was him. I should
Kenjiro Tsuda has appeared as a middle-aged cowboy-looking man.
As a guy who sucks.
You know what? He did ruin Spy Family. Maybe that's what it was. I caught up.
What, as a bait character with like 2 minutes of screen time?
That's all it takes, man. Anyway, so so Kenjiro Tsuda aside, then how did things go?
Boy, we sure are 6 episodes in, and they're still laying out more rules to this insane game. Like, we are halfway through, and they are still saying, "Here's a new thing to bear in mind."
I'm like halfway being like, this is stupid. Actually, like, stop doing it, right? And half of me is like, maybe it kind of makes sense that like it's building this ridiculous house of cards that's overwhelming, right, on purpose. But that's also maybe giving the show too much credit.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's definitely, in this latest episode, there's certainly a lot of, I know, you know, I know, you know, I know.
Which is what these, social deduction type games are all about, right?
Which is fun, but, like, I think, personally, I cut the show a lot of slack at the beginning because it is hard to set up the particulars of this game and to lay down a set of ground rules in the same way that the video game version would have. But by this point, we are so far in, and like they are adding variety to the game by increasing the cast. Like, that's the main interest, is that new people keep showing up. So the fact that new rules keep being introduced as well just kind of feels like they're over egging the pudding a bit.
Yeah, at some point you have to set the rules and let them play out. You can't just
keep adding more.
Adding
more. Right, like if the bulk of the latest episode is, we have the killers, but we also have the role of the people who can check to see if somebody is a human or not while they're alive. The person who can check to see if they're human or not if they've been put into cold sleep. And then now it's the role that can protect one person from being killed per night or whatever, right? And so the bulk of the episode is just, we are going to hash out the like maths and logic behind how to deal with this situation. You see, because if there is a doctor and an engineer, and then also a fake doctor and engineer, so we know that 50% of those 4 people are Gnosia and 50% are not. So if we protect one of them, there's a 25%, et cetera, right, for the whole fucking episode. I did clock it really quickly that Comet was the Gnosia for what it's worth, because she's usually peppier character, which is, I suppose, the type of thing that would matter more in the game. I did get a kick out of Kenjiro Suda because he is like the starship captain or whatever. He was always talking in fucking purple prose, flowery bullshit. And so later on, the ship's AI is like, oh yeah, he's not a captain anymore because he was declared legally insane by the government.
Also, he might be a huge creep. It's not entirely clear, but he certainly gives off that vibe.
I mean, they called in. I'm assuming he's doing the voice.
Pretty much. Right. But like, not quite as slimy.
It's a little more gravelly than the standard Kenjiro Suda voice. But yeah, like, the new characters who show up keep being entertaining. Yes, even Kenjiro Suda and
the mute girl. Like,
yes, and they keep like that interaction between kind of like the ways in which the new cast interact with the old cast are fun and interesting. And I think that the central premise is still pretty compelling, but that it does sort of feel like we're sort of at the die or fly point for the show, right?
Yeah, I think
it kind of has to take a major leap forward in the next episode or so.
Yeah, I think as we were hitting like episode 7, I think the next episode can't just be there's a dolphin. It had like we need to start actually digging into like what is the Gnosia like, right, and how is this all working in the first place, etc.
Because, like, I think in episode 6, I think that they actually do a fairly good job of making the deductive process interesting, and they do have the fun twist of, oh, like, our main character Yuri correctly deduces who the Gnosia are, but the Gnosia are able to turn the opinion of the other crew against them and get them thrown into cold sleep, so it's a losing loop, and that's fun and kind of like an unexpected twist. But at this point we really are going to have to see a new trick soon, because I'm not sure how much longer they can keep going with, oh, it's the same, but this time there is one more person, or we've added one more rule or stuff. I want sort of the meta narrative to move forward in a way that feels like we are approaching a tangible conclusion.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's still hanging in there. You guys are still watching it, but your description, Iro, is already kind of annoying me just listening to the layers of rules there. So right. I don't know. All right. Well, it's time.
I'm going to become the Joker.
Horses are coming along to the gates.
So, once again, we have only had one episode of Umamusume Cinderella Grey Part 2 for this episode. This week's episode was preempted for other programming, apparently.
Well, it's also because Cinderella Grey is only going to be 10 episodes.
Yeah, so it probably works out anyway, but
they kind of have to find a place to take a break anyway.
Yeah, so only one new episode since last week, but I know G didn't get to talk about previous one, and also
right.
Also they're all they're basically they're both the Japan Cup, right?
It's right. We can talk about this as a package, right? Yes, this is the
package deal.
Yes, the Japan Cup, the International Invitational G1 race.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I listened to your guys' segment last week, so you already covered most of it, right? Yes, it's the classic. The Americans and the Europeans too, I guess, are here.
Yes, the Westerners are.
I only say I guess because like. It is kind of funny that they did it like, yes, Tony Bianca, the Emperor of Europe, Moonlight Lunacy, the British monarch or whatever, and it's like, I don't know, man. I think these Euro horses just kind of ain't shit. They kind of these European horses really didn't do much.
Yeah, well, Tony Bianca got injured, right?
Yes,
so,
yes.
So it was really the American. It really was the Americans versus the
Japan,
the
right? But yeah, I think kind of related to like if we, I think obviously I think the first of these 2 episodes is a lot of fun, right? Yes, you get yes, you have Michelle, my baby, playing rough, right?
Yes.
You have
with Oguri Cap's old man trainer being like, oh, for an international race, this is just a Tuesday, right? And,
I don't know if I forget you guys mentioned exactly. I really did get a laugh out of like the joke, the punchline of Oguri Cap saying, "I don't know English."
Oh no, I didn't mention that, but yes,
because yes, Michelle, my baby, taunts Oguri Cap in English.
Oh my
yes,
goodness.
she literally speaks in English as she's like elbowing her around the track.
Yeah, and Oguri's like, I don't know what you're saying.
There's a running gag in Cars that's where in dream mode he understands English, but in the real life he does not.
He doesn't.
Right.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
His idealized self is fluent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's very funny.
But yeah, so it does end up being USA versus Japan, and we all knew. Okay, so we knew that Obey Your Master was going to do something, right?
Yes,
that was being foreshadowed, that she had some kind of trick up her sleeve or whatever. And in the first episode of this block, she's starting to like make her move or whatever, but it's episode 2 where she plays her hand, right?
Well, the thing that's I think the thing that like is so delightful about Cinderella Grey, and you mentioned it last week, Jill, but it's how much they fully commit to the bit of like how seriously they take this fucking horse racing.
Oh, this is
right?
is beyond life and death. This is fate of the world.
This
fate
is
of the universe.
I mean, this is they're doing the literal battle shonen thing of Tamamo Cross, Oguri Cap's Osakan rival, activates her horse racing Bankai functionally at the end of the previous episode.
Don't do it. Lightning, you're draining your life force.
I mean, that's basically what's
okay.
She activates White Lightning and enters the zone, right? She creates her reality marble. Yeah. Like she enters a void of black lit up only by, the blinding purity of her lightning. She
has literally like lightning streaking out of her eyes.
And then
she's
like
the Flash.
Cracks start to appear in the black mass of the void she has created until it shatters and a single star-pupiled eye looks through it, and it is the eye of Obey Your Master as she penetrates the dome, quite literally.
The power level can destroy the barrier.
And like it is like a literal like here's Johnny moment. Like she just peers her face in through the cracks in the void.
In her reality marble, yeah.
And we get the
do we call those domain expansions?
No. We call them by their original name. Yes. But yeah, I love the reveal here with Obey Your Master. It's like it's so again, she's
literally the Joker.
She is literally the Joker. Like we are introduced to Obey Your Master it through flashback, which reveals that actually
she's dumped into a vat of acid while pretending to be Red Hood.
Obey Your Master is a like curt, sullen, analytical racer who uses facts and logic to win races. And she has been deeply frustrated by a pretty unimpressive racing career in America, where she has broadly been outshone by her competitors, and
she has not been able to win a G1 race,
a single race. Yes, she is a perennial loser in America, but discovers that actually the nature of the Japan Cup in like the nature of the turf and the style of race there is perfectly suited to her particular parameters as a racer. And thus, but realizes that because like that this is a trump card that she cannot reveal, because otherwise she is otherwise a fairly unimpressive racer, quote unquote, stats wise. The only thing she has going for her here is her aptitude for this track and the element of surprise. And thus, she adopts the Gyaru personality as a mask to hide her true intentions. Quite literally, like, goes fucking sicko mode in the mirror. Her eye, the star pupil is a thing she can turn on at will. Those aren't her normal eyes. She transforms her eyes to adopt the Joker persona.
So is the Joker persona like more powerful, or does she unveil her
No,
true form
No,
as
no,
the,
it
like,
is
as,
merely
like,
it is merely a mask used to
Yeah.
unnerve and lure her opponents into a
Yes.
false sense of security.
Uh,
And at the vital point here in the race, Obey Your Master reveals her true form, Wild Joker.
which they splash
Okay.
the words "Wild Joker" on
Yeah.
the screen as she activates
Just
her
I
powers.
love Kamara Double's new form. Like,
And it's like so good in the way of like, just seeing somebody pull off the mask of like a very like I mean, not for that long. It's only been a few episodes since she's even been introduced, but a like meticulously maintained persona, right? The moment she unmasked, she has this whole fucking speech, in kind of rough Japanese English, king, queens, aces, there's only me.
Yeah, the Joker.
uh,
very good.
It's so
Oh my
good.
goodness.
It's so
I love when she switches. She switches to shout out to the voice actress who
Yes.
switches over to her real voice, and it's like an octave lower. It's just like
Yes.
completely different.
It's- right.
I
person.
always appreciate it when somebody puts in the effort to do distinct
And
voices.
and so the end of the Japan Cup is basically despite being the protagonist of the show, like this is about Tamamo Cross and Obey Your Master. Like this is like both of them trying to prove it all here, right? Like, there's some straight up Dante Virgil, like you're not so different, you and I had our places been changed that fateful night. Like would I have your life and yours mine? Like,
Right.
like these are two characters who are fundamentally driven by a desire to prove, like characters who come from rough or like damaged backgrounds, who are desperate to like validate their existence on the world stage, right? And are willing, like, body, livelihood, futures be damned. All that matters is this moment here and now. Who will be first? Who will cross the finish line first at all costs? And it's really good. Like there's like such a fun back and forth, right? Like, there's a good bit here where like, Tamamo Cross and Obey Your Master are neck and neck, right? And like Tamamo Cross is like, finally a worthy rival. I'm ready to give it my all. And Obey Your Master is like, fuck you. I'm here to win this race. And like purposely tries to like run off track from Tamamo Cross because she has correctly deduced that Tamamo Cross, like a Saiyan, powers up in the face of adversity. And thus by denying Tamamo Cross her rival a rivalry, like she will run slower.
Yeah,
To
by
which-
not like racing close to her to like acknowledge her challenge or whatever. Just by just ignoring her challenge, she won't be able to power up because she doesn't have the rivalry, right, or whatever.
To which Tamamo Cross has the great fucking rebuttal. God, also her. Again, this is the thing of these voice actors, right? It's like these are the same VAs that were cast, years ago for the fucking mobile game. Years ago when Tamamo Cross was just the comic relief Osakan Manzai comedy character. And here she is, again, also maybe going an octave deeper when, Obey Your Master, passes her, is like, hey, fucker, that's my position.
Yeah. It's very good. And again, we've said it before, since they're loosely basing things on real racing and whatnot, like you don't get the result you would probably normally get in a conventional
right,
sports
like
anime.
the initial setup of this race is that this is
conventional horse anime. I'm sorry.
I said sports.
Sports. Okay,
anime,
I misheard.
yeah.
That makes it all better.
But yeah, because like I mean, yeah, spoilers for the race, I guess, right? But like, despite the fact that initially this plotline is set up as Oguri Cap's like redemption arc, right after losing to Tamamo Cross in the previous race, this is supposed to be her like run back, right? But by the end of this race, just like in the actual race, Oguri Cap is like barely a factor by the end. Like this is purely about these two racers, and in the end, Obey Your Master takes it, right? She gets her redemption. She finally wins her first, and I think. Not only G1, I think, is the implication, right? But like, this is her moment, right? Like, despite the fact that this show is called Cinderella Grey, despite the fact that this is about Oguri Cap, here and now, this is Obey Your Master's Day. And I think
Right.
that's a really cool thing to do with a sports anime, right? Because I think the conventional wisdom here is that this is supposed to be where Oguri Cap like puts one on the board against Tamamo Cross, right? Like, if we're talking about like
Right.
an ongoing rivalry, that's kind of that's like the quote unquote narratively sensible thing you would do, right?
Right.
But I think, again, because they have to like loosely follow the careers of the horses these girls are based on, you get these really cool, unexpected outcomes. And I think, like, in all seriousness, like, bits aside, like, I think Cinderella Grey continues to be a really compelling sports narrative because of those factors. And I think the writers have done a fantastic job of, like, compelling us and, like, keeping things exciting, even when the ostensible protagonist of the story is not even in the spotlight. Like they found a way to, like, draw interesting pathos even out of characters who, as far as I can tell, are basically only going to be here for a single race.
Right. Yeah. We're not going to.
Would you like to know what happened to Pay the Butler?
No, because
I'm not going to turn this into a joke. Like, it's
but also because, like,
sure, the show's not over, right?
The show is not over, right?
Okay,
like,
yes.
I have been told in the hypothetical third season of Cinderella Grey will be Oguri Cap's second go at the Japan Cup.
Right.
So, hey,
Yeah.
if Obey Your Master / Pay Your Butler shows up there too, I'd rather not know.
Okay,
so.
well, I say race results aside, Pay the Butler retired in Japan and not in America.
Interesting. I mean, if that's
The
where
fact that you can legitimately go interesting is insane. I'm just pointing that out.
Well, I mean, like, that's a horse that was literally born in America, right? Like, that's, like, you'd think.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we will see.
Boy.
We will see where the journey of Obey Your Master takes us. But for now, yeah, we're at the end of the Japan Cup, and so I think, if I understand correctly, we are probably going to the Arima Kinen next, which is the last G1 of the year in Japanese horse racing.
Right.
So,
what does G1 mean?
Grade
that's
1.
like the highest. Yeah,
Okay.
that's like the highest level of
horse races
race.
are graded G3 through G1.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
I should point out that New Japan Pro Wrestling also holds an event that's called G1. So
it would not surprise me if G1 is like
similar.
Not an uncommon
Yeah.
terminology.
Right. It's
sports.
probably like
Yeah.
a common thing across multiple sports.
So yeah, it does become like an interesting because, like I said, it's not that other sports anime don't have like the protagonist lose, like that does happen, but I do feel like narratively, I think it also kind of would have made sense to have Tamamo Cross win, like either her or Oguri Cap, because they're like the main event in.
I mean, they're the
season
Japanese
2
athletes,
here.
right? Like,
but it's supposedly it's their rivalry that is like the focus of this season, and it would make sense for one of them to win, right? But just to have not both of them taken out by this just random person that showed up is interesting, and they do a good job. They do a good job of like actually like setting that up for Oguri Cap's development, because they did build up to this race as like, oh well, it's the longest race she ever ran before.
Ever run. Right.
She tried to change from from late surger to pace chaser on this one.
Yes.
And they kind of set up of like, maybe she's overextending herself or something, right? So
yeah, and there's a good narrative meat here, because the Arima Kinen is even longer than the Japan Cup, right? So you do get the angle of like, oh man, like Oguri Cap is gonna have to really dig deep, for the next race, and that's fun, right? Like there is good, like again, despite the absurdity of all of this, right? Like there are like good, interesting elements of these races that I think are well suited for the like dramatic and narrative developments of these characters.
Yeah. So we'll see if Oguri Cap gets the next one, I guess.
Shout outs to Buff Tamamo Cross. Please, Games. I give you my I give you my life for buff Tamamo Cross figure, please.
Yeah, they did make the Cinderella Grey specific Oguri Cap figure.
I did see
So
that. I did see that.
Maybe they will make Tamamo Cross one day.
It's just so funny because, like, again, so Tamamo Cross, if you have not seen her, right? So in addition to being the Osakan, that is literally her personality trait. She's like 4'7".
She's a very short, cute little anime girl.
Really small, but like every time they're like, Tamamo Cross is dangerous. It's a shot of her fucking flexing, and she's so fucking buff when she flexes. It's like
pint-sized powerhouse.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like it is a legitimately fun gimmick she has, but yes, it's just those are like the goofy aspects of like yes, like this is a character you designed like 7 years ago to fit a particular type of like waifu bracket. Right? Like pint-sized Osakan. But now that you're writing like the serious spin-off that you never like envisioned 7 years ago, it's like, well, that is the character. So
yeah. All right. So that show's still great.
Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Still loving that one.
I don't know if they'll ever be able to top Wild Joker, but
yeah, it's a high bar, I think, for the rest of the season here. But we'll see.
I don't know.
Who else
Or I mean, hell, you know what? There is this that I know of, Jel. The Aramakinen will be. One Super Creek will be participating in.
Yeah, I was going to say that's
McKinnon.
probably going to be the next wild card is Super Creek.
Are you ready for like the Wild Joker equivalent for Super Creek? Like Super Creek to unveil her reality marble.
It was already crazy seeing her like go sicko mode in that other race, because she is like the. I don't know how you describe Super Creek. She's
the mommy. She's the mommy horse.
Okay.
Yes.
I would describe Super Creek as my favourite Rick James song.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's close this out with whatever the hell Sanda is. Why is Paru Itagaki like this?
Hell yeah.
What happened to her?
Because
we may
she is
never know.
the second or third bravest mangaka that ever lived.
Oh,
Who's the first bravest?
I mean,
her father, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
that's true,
it's Itagaki Senior, of course,
Yeah.
and then I leave the other slot open depending on the day of the week how I feel about about us. How I feel about some other mangaka. Go Nagai is there in the running. I think
The classic.
But,
Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, these episodes were pretty wild. In the first one,
Who among us has not missed a crucial plot development because their eyes fell out at an inconvenience?
look, man,
Uh,
he's old as fuck.
fucking
what a good
Oberstein ass eyes.
He's a cyborg.
yeah, what a good like just insane villain character the headmaster is. Just like
Ushibu's great.
Actually,
yeah,
I am a cyborg.
So yes, we find out a lot of things about him in this episode.
What is
every episode I feel like we learn one new thing about how he's managing to stay alive.
What is heavy cosmetic surgery if not a form of like transhumanism?
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. Yeah, because it's at one point he's just like, I'm not aging because I just don't want to. Like it's just
and
it's it's so stupid, but it's so perfect.
And I do kind of love it, right? Because obviously, yes. I listen to the previous podcast. Yes, haha, Sanda, haha, Paru Itagaki, right?
Yes.
Like crazy, over the top. Like man's got sleds coming out of his feet. Sanda grows more powerful when children sleep, etc. The dream, right? Like there's a lot of shit going on here, right? Of course, but I do think it's like I do legitimately think like Paru Itagaki is like trying to take swings at a certain type of social commentary. Now, again, like how successful that is with every swing is worth arguing, but I do think there is like. Again, when we talk about like Japan's obsession with youth, and like in that like cultural context, I really do love Ushibu as like the embodiment, the final villain of Japan's obsession with youth, right? Like, here is this decrepit old man. He doesn't even have a human heart beating in his chest anymore. Like, if you couldn't make the analogy any more blatant, right? Like, here is a more plastic, more silicone than man, right? Like, so desperate, like so many old people, so desperate to hold on to like whatever bit of like whimpering life that they have left.
I mean, I think the fascinating thing about Sanda is the collision between the trenchant political commentary and the sheer insanity of it, because yes, Oshibu is like a fascinating example of like this character who has like taken their obsession with youth and childhood to an extreme, and kind of he's also a commentary on sort of, the culture of body modification and stuff like that. But at the same time, he's also a killer cyborg who's trying to murder this girl for being too slutty. So, like,
yeah.
And you could just say sentences like that, and then he has a cyborg fight with Santa Claus, and
and then some little old lady shows up and kicks his ass.
Goku shows up.
Yes, voiced by noted fighter voice Masako Nozawa.
Yes. Yeah, I would. That episode was just a series of me going, "What? Wait, what?
Huh?
What?" It was very good. Some real Rose and Birdie wing tier. Well, maybe not quite not that high, but you know what I'm saying. Of reveals of, and I think most of that episode is the fight, right? Like,
yeah,
it's pretty great, but
it's
there
a
is
fun bit.
There is some violence on display there. Like, there is a lot of blood and being thrown into walls and breaking bones and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
because while Santa is invulnerable, he's
He's not that invulnerable.
He's not that invulnerable.
And the fun like dynamic, right, is like he may be invulnerable, but he still feels pain. And they kind of lean into this idea that he is still fundamentally at heart a child, and a child is just so much more sensitive to pain than an adult is, right? You have the contrast of like Ushibu is quite mortal, insane plastic surgery aside, but what he has really going for him is his inhuman pain tolerance, right? Just like getting decked by 200-pound Santa Claus is nothing compared to the time I had all my skin replaced.
Yes, all my nerves ripped out or whatever. Yeah.
There is also the fact that he is like completely gaga, which helps as well. But,
yeah. But yeah, I mean that was a very entertaining episode. Let's put it that way. The fight looked great, I thought. Again, the show continues to just look real sneaky good. Like I don't know if it's because of the like more like kind of rough, sketchy art style or something, but I feel like it's easy to miss how good the animation actually is.
I think it's the classic Trigger thing of sometimes the animation is insanely good, and the rest of the time the style makes up the shortfall. Like it is just a very sharp looking show in terms of like the blocking of shots, the character design, sort of the color palette, all of those things make it look fantastic even when it's sort of not in motion.
I mean, even the latest episode, which is not like action heavy, like, Ira and I kind of remarked, it's like, man, you really like, it's like, it's the way these characters move, it's the way their eyes blink, like that really makes you realize, like, wow, like, what if Science Saru had done B-Stars, right? Like,
week 7 of wishing Science Saru did B-Stars.
Science Saru's so obviously the best fit for Paru's art style. Like, it feels like foolish that like none of us had like arrived at that conclusion sooner, right? It's a great fit for the source material. And I think that they have done some really excellent work adapting Sanda here.
Yeah. So in our second episode, I guess we meet the murderer kids.
What a delightful Haru Itagaki-esque escalation, right?
Hey,
this episode might sneakily be more insane than the first episode.
In some ways, yes.
Right?
well, so they have alluded to the fact that children can literally get away with murder because of their, I guess,
Youth
status,
privilege, yeah.
the privilege and status they
rarity.
have in society. So they can literally get away with murder. But I guess if you do kill someone, you end up in this like separate classroom in the basement or whatever. And well, Sanda goes and meets the killer kids, I guess.
Mhm.
That's a thing.
It's so good, right? Because it's like, well, if an adult can't kill Santa, if Santa Claus has no qualms about fighting adults, who is the most perfectly suited demographic to kill Santa Claus?
The most dangerous
children.
Yes.
Yeah.
The murder
Now,
game.
Santa cannot harm children.
They don't want to kill him. They just want him to cut his thumbs off and give them to
Well,
his
you
son.
see, Santa used to give you gifts in your stocking that you'd hang up. So we have these boots. So, they want a present from Santa, and they want his thumbs. Why? I don't think that gets explained yet. But
I have faith there will be an explanation coming, and it will
was
make
some
no
real,
sense whatsoever.
yeah, I mean, the explanation probably won't matter. But it was some real just straight up horror stuff going on. Like when he's like you see the kids with their arm behind their back
Mhm.
at first when they're talking, and you're like, oh yeah, there's something's not right here.
I mean, they go for the full on creepy children trope for a bit, right?
and then they do pan out and show they have all have weapons behind their back and stuff like that, right? But even
again,
just the concept, even just the general concept of these child murderers that is out there.
We really
Go
just
ahead.
need to teach Sanda about the naughty list.
Yes, I was going to say, he has an out. He doesn't have to give presents to naughty children.
That's probably what they're going to go with, right?
The thing is, and I want to emphasize,
Or I don't know oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I want to emphasize, I don't think this is a bad thing, is that as creepy as this scene is, we also get a bunch of insane internal monologue and goofy cuts to Sanda looking distressed and clutching his heart, and he's like, I can't resist the request of a child, and it's so dumb.
It's why am I thinking about actually doing this?
It's just so stupid. And I think and again, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it is a strength that the show is kind of it is very serious about being very stupid, right? We've said that about shows in the past, and I think this is another excellent example of it.
Yeah.
But maybe Santa will be fine because what's a loophole here? Sure. Maybe Santa can't fight children. You know who can fight children? Other children. Fujimura in with the save.
I almost forgot at the very end. Fujimura just blowing the door off.
Yeah, got the sticks of TNT on her like Rambo, ready to go.
Also, she apparently just has constant access to TNT.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Just her otherwise unremarked upon power.
Yeah.
And
makes bombs.
There is kind of some interesting kind of character dynamic stuff here as well. Right at the beginning of this latest episode, we get Amaya trying to distance himself from Sanda and Fujimura because his argument is that it's so obvious if they're a trio, then it doesn't take a genius to work out who's Santa. Maybe I read this wrong as well, but a lot of this monologue suggests that Amaya is kind of into Sanda, right? He seems to have some sort of crush on him. And also we have the stuff with Fujimura seems kind of not as into Ashino anymore, right? She seems distracted, and I feel like there's a tension there which is slowly coming to the boil a little bit.
Right. I don't think it is it is definitely not a coincidence, right? That the end of the previous episode is very much Sanda and Fujimura walking off and having some childish conversation about eating food at the cafeteria, right? And Oshino, the one who is quote unquote grown up overnight, right, is now the one who feels alienated, right?
And we do get that one kind of weird shot of her.
When she grew too fast, and it's tearing her body apart or something.
Yes. Well,
or was I thought it kind of resembled the headmaster's weird aging stuff.
Right.
I don't really know what's going on there, but
there is something going on though.
Yes.
Right? That's what they're trying to tell us. Right, and that kind of fits with the themes of if she's representing adulthood and Fuyamura is not there yet, right? Still
Mhm.
somewhere in the middle is the
Yeah.
whole speech we got from that. But yeah, just what a weird and fascinating show.
Yeah.
I think I said I called it correctly. That I was like, what, Sanda is going to be a really good one core Power Itagaki show. It's just going to be really good content for the podcast.
We could literally just say, I mean, that's part of what we did, is just literally just say what happens. It's so wild just to
Yeah.
Mhm.
remind yourself, yes, that actually happened.
But I do think that like I have an affection and an interest in the characters as well.
yes, yes.
Like
Of
I said
course,
before,
yes.
I think that's the fine line that the show is walking so well, is that because like it is clearly deliberately funny in some senses, clearly it is playing its insanity for laughs to quite a large extent as well. But there's genuine commentary, there's genuine character drama, there's genuine kind of like development going on through there, and it is a very delicate balance, but I think Sanda has walked it quite well so far. And
Yeah.
we continue to find out weird and wacky things about this world that make it more interesting and more compelling to spend time in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, looking forward to more of that. And that's the end of our list. That'll do it for this episode. So we did almost manage to talk 2 hours somehow with the list we had, but yeah, let's wrap things up then with our
Mhm.
housekeeping. You can check us out at theglorioblog.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky at GlorioBlog. You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, Stitcher, and of course YouTube, where you can like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, all those good things. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, and we'll catch everybody next time.